Thank you for listening to our daily Bible reading lesson. The lesson today is the toss of the coin. You know, you've heard of things being a coin toss, and people flip heads or tails. Which do you want? Well, it may determine what you're going to eat, where you're going to go, things like that. But it seems like with many people, life is a toss up whenever it comes to their relationship with God, their trust in God. In the book of Second Chronicles, in our reading yesterday, we read of King Asa, and he was having struggles. The northern kingdom was pressuring him, and what he did was went and he made a league with the king of Syria. And as a result of that, we find that Hanani the seer in 2 Chronicles 16:7 came to Asa the king of Judah and said unto him, Because thou hast relied on the king of Syria and not relied on the Lord thy God, therefore is the host of the king of Syria escaped out of your hand. You look at that, and here's the prophet, and he goes ahead and he tells him, he says, you've seen the strength of the Ethiopians and others, and how God was there, how he could protect you, how you could trust him, and you didn't. Well, of course, King Asa, he got mad, and he threw the prophet in jail, in prison, and he himself died a sorrowful, sad death. Even in his death, he wouldn't call on the Lord. But then in chapter 17, we read of King Jehoshaphat, who reigns in his stead, his son. And it's quite a bit different. It's like the coin has been flipped, and instead of tails, this time it's heads, and the head is God. Jehoshaphat, it says in verse 3 of 2 Chronicles 17, the Lord was with Jehoshaphat because he walked in the first ways of his father David. It's a shame it wasn't able to mention his father Asa. But he walked in the ways of David, and he didn't seek after Balaam. He sought the Lord God his Father. He walked in his commandments, not after the doings of Israel. Therefore, the Lord established the kingdom in his hand. You look at that, and the contrast is so amazing. But in reality today, it's like people who claim to be followers of God flip the coin. Do I tails? Follow man. I'll trust in my riches. I'll trust in my way to get out of this problem. I'll trust in my way to resist the temptation. But then there are those who choose the head, choose the Father. They choose to serve God. And they realize that whatever comes, they can trust him. They can look and realize that whatever the temptation that comes, God provides a way of escape. 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 13. So we look, we examine his word, and we find that way. Too many people don't look because they have flipped the coin and turned away from God. We need to make sure that we're seeking God in his will and realizing that we can trust him, that yes, when he said there's a way of escape, we can find it. That whenever we're faced with temptation, we can, as Paul told those in Ephesus, you can put on the whole armor of God, that you can stand against the wiles of the devil whenever burdens seem so great. Maybe that's the time we go down on our knees, not in despair, but in prayer. We find that if we cast our cares upon him, he careth for us. What an amazing God we serve. But we make the choice. Jehoshaphat chose God. His father chose the king of Syria, the worldly things. I hope that each one of us realizes the day before us can be a great day, that God will be with us, just as he was with Jehoshaphat, if we walk in his ways, if we follow the ways that God has given. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Don't flip the coin. Rather live with it always coming up heads, God. Thank you again for joining us in this Bible study. We remind you, if you'd like to follow along in our daily Bible reading, the link below in the description of this video will give you the PDF so you can read right along with us. If you have any other questions or if you'd like information on a Bible study, contact us with the information provided on the screen before you.